Okay, so trying to get this adjusted. We're gonna say that's good. Okay, we are going to attempt to do another Stitch with Me video. I'm going to try to ignore the phone that's in my peripheral here, just to the left of my face. Okay, for those of you that don't know, I am currently working on a peacock, a unicorn, a badger, which is a 2017 release from the Scarlet Letter. This is just, it's 20-something pages of full coverage. I don't normally like full coverage, but this I do because it's not confetti, I say as I stitch these one stitches. But you can see that there's like blocks of color, and like you can literally just stitch the motifs if you want, which I'm not going to, but I am going to go back after I stitch the motifs on a page and fill in this background color, which is the nice olive green, my favorite. And I'm stitching this in DMC and not the called for silks. The conversion is in the chart. I'm using it. It seems to be, as I compare mine to the cover model stitch, similar. As close as I'm going to get, probably. Like these dark lines in between the feathers show up more, it seems, on the cover. This seems to be a darker color, but I don't mind it. I just got off the phone with my mom. She was doing her Saturday morning check-in. She asked me why I ever told her about 1, 2, 3 Stitch, because she said she just ordered 3 charts. It excites me that she is enjoying that so much. Okay, the main reason that I was doing this today is I really wanted to do a tag. And I was looking around and decided, you know what, I want to make my own tag. So this is going to be the Emily C tag. There are only a couple of questions that are even stitching related. And I think that's okay, because I tend to really love the tags where we're getting to know each other. So I put my chart open here next to me where I can figure out what I'm doing. You can already see very little stitching is actually going to get accomplished during this. But, okay, so the Emily C tag. Question number 1. What's your favorite cereal? To me, that can be very telling about a person. Do you still eat the same cereal you did as a kid? You know, do you eat Mueslix? What do you eat? My favorite cereal is Great Grains with pecans and dates, because I feel like it's healthy, but it's also sweet. Like the dates, oh, they're so good. But here is a little piece of info about me. I do not like milk in my cereal. I eat it dry. That's just how I like it. I feel like milk takes away from the flavor. Anyway, question 2. What are your favorite pizza toppings? I love Hawaiian pizza. There is this little Italian restaurant down the street that does a fantastic, like, fresh made there crust Hawaiian pizza, and sometimes Jim and I splurge and get it. I also really like mushroom and bacon pizza, because that's healthy. And I promise not all of these questions are food related. I think I was hungry when I was writing them. So question number 3 is food related. You're on death row. What would you ask your last meal to be? Like, if I am asked about a last meal, I'm going to go all out. And I don't mean like lobster. I mean like I'm going to have appetizer, dinner, and dessert. So I would start off with some mozzarella sticks or jalapeno poppers because the best appetizers are deep fried and filled with cheese. And then I would probably have for dinner some grilled scallops and shrimp, blackened a bit, some loaded mashed potatoes with like sour cream and bacon, maybe a vegetable, and then maybe some kind of like cinnamon apple crumble for dessert. No, everyone is pausing my video to go figure out what they want to fix for dinner because all I've done is talk about freaking food. Okay. It's laundry day. This is question number 4. So it's laundry day at your house. You're at the very bottom of your underwear drawer. What's the weird underwear that always gets saved to last? We all have it. You know it's there. Mine is a pair of cotton boy shorts that my husband bought me in a pack with the aid of his mother. I know, it's already odd. They were buying me Christmas presents together one day. Covered in penguins wearing pink scarves. I love them, I do, but it's not that often that you have an outfit where you're not like, are you going to be able to see the penguins with the pink scarves through my pants? So yeah, penguins, pink scarves. Number 5, who would play you in a movie about your life? I actually thought about this one for a long time, and then I decided that it was important to me that the actress actually be tall. So I was looking around at tall actresses, and I settled on Jenna Elfman, because I feel like if she had dark hair, we would look somewhat similar, other than the fact I think that she's a little bit well endowed up top than I am. But, you know, she can be a little kooky. So Jenna Elfman, I think. But if you guys have an idea of who would better play me, feel free to put that in the comments below, because that's what I came up with. Okay. You're going to the movies. This is question 6. You're going to the movies. What are you sneaking in your purse? Or your man bag? Don't act like you don't sneak in food to the movie theater. We all do it. We all shove things in our purse. What is your movie food of choice? Mine, I usually bring 2 things. I love peanut butter M&Ms. And I guess they don't have those in all countries because I think I have mentioned peanut butter M&Ms before. But I love them. They're basically like Reese's Pieces, but there's like a chocolate layer as well. And they're bigger. I also love sour candies, like sour gummy worms. Yes. So peanut butter M&Ms and sour gummy worms, big bottle of water. I'm good to go. Number 7, what is your perfect vacation? I think my perfect vacation wouldn't be like being super touristy and hopping around everywhere, but if it was in a town where there was stuff to do, that's great. But I would like to rent a cabin on a lake where I could stitch. But not like with cheesy cabin decor. You guys know what I mean? Like bears and moose and all those things everywhere. No, just regularly decorated, a nice cabin or house. And I would like for there to be restaurants nearby with good food because I don't want to cook on vacation. Not a lot anyway. Okay, a classic question. You are on a deserted island. You don't know how long you're going to be there. Could be 5 days, it could be forever. What 5 items or things do you have with you in the perfect scenario? Well, of course, my first thing would be Jim. I want Jim there with me. My second thing, I want stitching, because I would lose my mind. Then I was like trying to figure out a way to cheat the system, and I decided that if a fully equipped tiny house could fall out of the sky or wash up on the shore, yes, that's my third thing. Food, because I'm not assuming that the tiny house is stocked with food. And then, you know what? I am pale and pasty. I should probably say a supply of sunscreen and bug repellent. Although that's 6. So maybe something that does both. I should probably check and make sure this is still recording. Yep, it is. Okay. Number 9. If you could have a reproduction style chart with any theme possible, what would your theme be? So I thought of several, and this will kind of give you an idea how to answer this question. It's going to look like an antique sampler or reproduction chart, but it's going to be a modern take. So, like, I was walking around the park. Wait, am I stitching just what I think should be here, or what's really supposed to be here? What's really supposed to be here? So I was walking around the park thinking about this, and I thought it would be cool to have a sampler that was focused thematically on like the 7 deadly sins, with like motifs and imagery that depicts those. And then I started listening to the My Favorite Murder podcast. So then I was like, well, how cool would a My Favorite Murder serial killer themed sampler be? Like, you know, you've got like Elvis and all the cats on there, and Georgia and Karen and Steven. But then I had another thought, and this one in the 7 deadly sins might be my favorite. What if it was a sampler that looks like it was stitched by a character, like Norma Bates? What if Norma Bates stitched a sampler? The house above the hotel would be in it. It would just be amazing. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll venture into trying to make some of those things a reality. Just figuring out where I am. Okay. Number 10. What is your strangest travel experience? Bonus points if you've ever spent time in a foreign jail. Now, I'm just going to say I was talking to Diana about these questions, and she volunteered this one. So I'm putting it in here just because I want to know why she wanted this question in here, because I'm willing to bet she has a really good story. My most interesting story is possibly when Jim and I went on a cruise, and we got off on one of the islands. I think we were in Nassau. And you get off, and they kind of like corral everyone to the right, which is kind of the touristy area with like the little mall of souvenirs and shops and all this stuff. And Jim and I were like, let's go the path less traveled. Let's venture over here to the left and see what the city looks like over this way, where it's not so touristy. So we're walking, and, you know, it looks a little shady as we get farther away from where the boat is docked. And then we see, like, Bahamian police arresting some guy and handcuffing him and basically, like, dragging him down the sidewalk. And we were like, yep, 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 yep. Time for us to go back to the touristy area. This is not where we need to be. But it's not the best story, but I'm sure some of you guys have some pretty fun travel vacation stories. Number 11, what are you saving money for right now? Well, I'm currently paying off my credit card bill from the New Jersey retreat, which, you know, a lot of that honestly was just the hotel. I didn't spend a ton there. Some people did. I did not. I was very conservative with my spending at the actual retreat. But, you know, getting there and food in the hotel, that's where my money went. But I am paying for that and future trips because we have discovered that, you know, after Jim's surgery and his health problems, he told me that he does not want to wait until retirement to go on vacations and go places and do things. He wants to do it now because, you know, the glory of heart disease, unfortunately, is, you know, he may not be around forever past retirement. And, you know, it's kind of a morbid thought, but we're also realists when it comes to things like that. So we're trying to live life now. So I hope he's with me forever and we die on the same day. But if not, and anyway, morbid thoughts. Let's move on. What craft would you like to try or would you like to get better at? I think most of you guys know, okay, I cannot find where this needle needs to be. There we go. I think most of you know I tried my hand at quilting and pieced and machine quilted my first quilt recently and gave it to a friend as a baby shower gift. Well, I'm going to do this stitch first. I really enjoyed it. And I would like to keep quilting and get better at that. So I actually have like 2 quilts that I have bought the fabric for to do like throw size quilts. This is going to be my next step to get started and do upstairs right now. So I'm following along with Stitch All the Things Christine, and I'm going to be doing a 4-patch quilt with her. So that's exciting. Let's see, 13. If you had to stitch only 3 designers for the rest of your life, what designers would you stitch? So 3 designers, guys. Do you know how hard this is and how many times I've gone back and forth? And I'm still not completely set, so let's see what comes out of my mouth. Okay, so Kathy Barrick is on there because I love Kathy Barrick and she can almost do no wrong in my eyes. So Kathy Barrick, which includes Carriage House samplings as long as it's something that she did and not Marty. So Kathy Barrick. I would say Paulette with Plum Street Designs. She also does some absolutely fantastic pieces, and I could stitch on hers from here to eternity. And I'm talking and need to look at my chart really quick, so hold on, guys. Okay. What's going on here? So my third one, I really contemplated choosing a designer that does reproductions. But I almost felt like that didn't count. So I had initially put down GGR, even though I've never stitched a GGR chart. I have a couple in my stash, but I've never started one because I feel like that hers are so beautiful that I really want to do them in the called for threads. So there's that. I haven't kitted one up yet. But anyway, I don't feel like that counts because it's reproduction. So now I'm torn between Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist, and Barbara Anna. And I might lean towards Heartstring Samplery because it has an older feel to it. I don't know. It's a hard one, guys. Let's see. Scrolling down. Number 14. What is the dumbest way you have ever injured yourself? We're stitchers, guys. Very few of us are super athletic and coordinated. Let's just be honest. So, I have fallen downstairs and hurt myself twice in my lifetime. My mother would probably still think that I was being physically abused by a romantic partner if she wasn't actually there the second time I did it. The first time I was living out in California. I was house sitting for someone who lived in the hills house and dog sitting. And outside of their house, because you're in the hills, they had this really steep wooden staircase that came off the front of the house. So I've got the dog on a leash and we're going out for a walk, and the dog starts like dragging me down the stairs, and there's no light on yet, and I'm waving my hand around trying to get the motion light to come on, and it's not coming on. And so I fall and I tumble down those stairs with the dog holding onto it on a leash, and when I hit the bottom it activates the motion light, and I was like, damn it. Of course, after I hit the bottom the light comes on. My ankle swelled so big, and I didn't have health insurance at the time, so I hobbled around on that foot for like a week or two until my boss at the time finally said, Emily, this is ridiculous. Get in my car. I'm taking you to my doctor, and we're getting your foot looked at. I had like chipped off a piece of bone inside my foot. It healed. I ended up in a boot, but jeez Louise. A few years ago, I did something very similar here at our townhouse. I was trying to carry a rolling chair, like one of those old 70s rolling chairs that's like metal instead of the plastic that we have now. And I fell going down the stairs with it, and the chair landed on my ankle, the other ankle. Yeah, I ended up with my foot above my head for a couple of days, and then a cane and crutches, and it was bad. My mom was here, and she took me to the doctor like immediately. Nothing was broken. I had ripped some ligaments in my ankle, was what they told me I had done. Wow, that hurts so much, and it's huge and purple. But yeah, so I'm graceful. I fall downstairs. And I live in a 3-story house, or a townhouse. Number 15. What is your worst roommate or housemate story? So I lived with this roommate in college once who was so passive aggressive. When we all moved in, she had drawn up like this roommate handbook with like all of these rules, and like, you know, you've got to do this, and you've got to do the dishes right away, and you can't leave your stuff piled up in the sink, and got to, you know, clean this time. Anyway, it was ridiculous, but we were like, all right, whatever. So I can remember, like, if I would ever like eat lunch and then have to run back out to class. And I'm like, okay, seriously, I'm going to do those dishes when I get back. I would come back and she wouldn't be there, but it would, without fail, the roommate agreement would be, it's like living with Sheldon Cooper, I guess, would be on the refrigerator with the portion that was broken highlighted. Freaking nuts. Freaking nuts lady. Okay, I'm going to pause you guys, and we are going to flip this and tie this thread off. Okay, I'm back. Getting situated. Got this thread restarted up here. Keep on going. Okay, so next question. 16. You have unlimited income. Money's not a factor. What does your dream house look like? And where is it? So, my dream house, to no one's surprise, I'm sure, would look like some kind of creepy haunted house. Something from the turn of the century with gorgeous woodworking and wood trim and architectural detailing, but of course with modern day plumbing, electricity, and kitchen. I know some people believe that it should be very, very to the time, but no, I need a modern kitchen. Sorry, guys. And I also need a modern bathroom. As klutzy as I am, this girl is not climbing in and out of a clawfoot tub. Been there, done that, I will fall. But I would love a Gothic style house, or a house with a mansard roof, which is my absolute favorite. In fact, I'm going to insert a couple of pictures here of my dream house. So something along that vein. So if Emily ever wins the lottery, I'll build a house like that, and we will have an epic stitching slumber party at my house. Bring your hot lights. So there's that as I bump this. Number 17. It's another Emily question. What song or songs do you want played at your funeral? It's kind of a morbid question, but it's something I've thought about, and Jim and I were talking about it last night. I told him I had narrowed it down to 3, and oftentimes there's room for multiple songs at something like that. So, and I wouldn't want a religious ceremony. I would want something that's more of a memorial. So maybe songs played while pictures scroll and my stitching is displayed. But I love Bob Dylan. So a Bob Dylan song, either A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall or These Times They Are A-Changin'. One of those, probably Hard Rain. Oh, hopefully you guys could hear that bird outside. My second song is Ripple by the Grateful Dead. Guys, I love the Grateful Dead. American Beauty lives in my car, like in the CD player. And it's one of my favorite vinyl records to put on. So the Grateful Dead's Ripple. And the third, which is just a song that I love, and it kind of does have that moving on to another plane feeling to it, be Van Morrison's Into the Mystic. God, that's a beautiful song. In fact, I'm going to put links to all 3 of these songs in the bottom, because I know I can't play them here because I'll get flagged for copyright, but I'll put links where if you're not familiar with them, you can hear them down below. Number 18. What is your favorite board game or card game? So I'm not a competitive person. I don't like to work in a team. I don't like games where you have to do anything embarrassing. I like to work solo, and I like to accrue points and for nobody to really worry about what I'm doing or not doing. So Scrabble is probably my favorite board game. I love to play. Jim and I used to play all the time. I have a really nice Scrabble board. We need to drag it back out. And we played so much for a while that we would do theme games to make it more interesting. Like, if you put down a word, it had to be related to the theme. My favorite one that we ever played was food or sex. And the word had to be food related or sex related. And if it could fall under both categories, you got to double your points. That game was so much fun. We had a blast. Next question. 19. Who was your first celebrity crush? I was coming of age in the mid to late 90s. So my first celebrity crush was, and I always feel like I mispronounce his name, but Jared Leto, who people nowadays know from his Suicide Squad. But I'm throwing it way back to when he played Jordan Catalano on My So-Called Life. I thought I was Angela Chase. I loved My So-Called Life. It was the best show ever. If you've never seen it, find it on a streaming service and watch it. It only ran for like one season. Go relive your 90s teenage angst. Go do it now. All right, last question, number 20. If you could capture a smell in a candle or a perfume, what would that smell be? A smell that to you is the ideal smell or takes you back to something. I thought about this one a lot and had actually come up with a couple of answers, and then this morning changed my answer completely. I would want it to be the smell of my dad's leather jacket. At my mom's house, my dad's old leather members only jacket still hangs in the closet. I asked my mom to please not get rid of it. And if she did, I wanted it. It smells like him. It smells like when we would go out to eat or go somewhere as a kid and I would curl up in his lap. It's still like I can go to my mom's house and go to the closet and just bury my face in that jacket, and it smells like leather and aftershave. I want that. I want that bottled in a candle or an essential oil. Leather and aftershave. Guys, that is the end of the Emily C tag. I will also, in addition to those song links, I will put all of the questions below. And if you feel so inclined, please, I would love to see your answers to these questions. And let me know if you do it or not, because as we all know, none of us subscribe to everybody. And I love finding new YouTubers and floss tubers. So, shoot me a message or on Instagram or Facebook and let me know if you do this or not, because I would love to watch it. Also, another little note that I would like to bring up, I meant to do this at the beginning of the video, is one of our very own, Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, has released a new design. And it might be the most magnificent design I've seen in a while. It definitely is the best of all of hers, and she says that herself. Go check it out. I'll insert a picture here. But I think between now and next Friday, she's running a special in her Etsy shop, which I'll link down below as well, where you can get so much % off if you enter in the code BIRDS on anything in her shop, I believe, but don't hold me to that. So if today is June 2nd, between now and next Friday, you can use that code. But I know also I saw on Instagram this morning, Lindy Stitches, Michelle Garrett, it said that they're starting a sale of this piece because I'm not the only one obsessed with it and thinks it's gorgeous. They're starting a sale on June 24th, which I'm going to do because I've already bought it. It's fantastic. I've just got to figure out floss and fabric and all of that, but I kind of already have some imagery in my head of how I want it to turn out. But anyway, check that out. Do the tag. Happy stitching. I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend or whatever day you end up watching this. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.